Welcome. Welcome to Business at the Speed of People. My name is Davender, and welcome to this session. It's a series of sessions that is exploring the key concepts in my book project, which has the working title Business at the Speed of People. This is session number 3, which I've given the title Passion, the Power of Message. What this is all about, this series of 8 presentations is an opportunity for me to sort of talk through the 8 themes that I've identified for in this book, Business at the Speed of People. I really appreciate the fact that you're listening to this recording, and I invite you, if there's things that are not clear, or there are questions that come up, or ideas that pop into your mind as you listen to this, please contact me. I would love to hear how you're receiving this, and allow me to improve on the ideas. So this is just a very first rough draft. I'm speaking out the concepts, and then later on I'm transcribing them to create a first rough manuscript. So let's jump right in. I want to bring you up to speed on the key concepts so far in sessions 1 and 2. And if you're really interested, I invite you to take a look at those 2 recordings, and that will give you a bit of a sense of what's happening. Business at the Speed of People. What I'm noticing, why that title? What I'm noticing that right now in the fall of 2011, there's this movement. A lot of people feel abandoned, excluded. A lot of people are dropping out of the economy for many reasons. High unemployment, the house foreclosures, mounting levels of personal debt, all kinds of reasons that are causing people to feel shut out of the economy, and the pushback to that is coming up in many ways. Political movements, the Occupy movement, the move your money from the big banks to regional banks and community banks. All those to me are symptoms of people trying to figure out what's happening. How are they going to move forward when the economic rules that we've experienced over the last 60-70 years seem to be just all falling apart around us? In session number 1, I discussed this concept of what is economics, and in traditional economics, they talk about macroeconomics and microeconomics. And macroeconomics is the study of monetary policy and taxation policy, and those kind of high-level types of movements of money. Trade policy goes, I believe, in the macroeconomy. It's sort of the mixing of money and politics at that level. And what is happening I'll go for one more piece before I say what's happening. So you have macroeconomics, which is monetary policy and taxation and those kinds of things, policy stuff. And then you have microeconomics, which is more supply and demand, consumer behavior, and the idea that in terms of in terms of how people buy but at a market level, very much at a aggregate level. The economics has created some really nice models that have worked pretty well, because society, although it was evolving, there were a lot of things that stayed the same. But I believe that starting in the mid-90s, with the advent of the internet and our ability to communicate a lot more, that has invalidated a lot of the basic assumptions that underline macroeconomics and microeconomics, and have resulted in where we are right now. That nobody quite knows what to do. Also, what's been happening is that in terms of the macroeconomy and the microeconomy, which both aim to create efficiencies where they can, they've created so much efficiency that they've dropped people from the balance. If you look at traditional accounting systems, well, what does accounting do? It treats things as assets, and it treats people as liabilities. And so if you're trying to maximize the efficiency of your capital, the efficiency of your assets, what do? You let go of the liabilities. And so that's why there's all kinds of layoffs and all of that, which have just compounded the problem. So anyways, macroeconomics and microeconomics is all messed up right now. And what is a person to do? What's an individual to do? If you take the analogy of physics, if you look at the physics between planets at a planetary level, that's like macroeconomics. Okay, you have planets. What's the main force that's holding all the planets together in the solar system? Well, it's gravity. And then as you get closer, if you start examining more and more and you start drilling down, you get to the microphysics, microeconomy, more at our level, at our scale. Then you have electrical forces and magnetic forces that overcome gravitational forces. They're stronger when you look at our level. And so, you know, that's how we can get magnets to pick things up, because the magnetic forces at this local level are stronger than gravitational forces. And then if you drill further and further and further down to the molecular and the atomic level of things, you discover that there are other forces that come into play that are even stronger than magnetic or electrical forces. And these nano forces are what help things keep their shape. You know, that's what makes them solid. Well, I believe there's a third nano-economy that fits into this macro-micro model. And so if macro is monetary policy between nations and trading blocks, and micro is supply and demand customer behavior of markets, then the nano-economy is the economy of people, between people, trade and cooperation, between individuals. Hence the name business at the speed of people. And at the individual level, yes, money is important. I don't want to say it's not important. But there are other factors that come into play. Personal preference, trust, the reputation, all those kinds of intangible things. They don't fit into the microeconomic models of supply and demand. Those at the nano level, at the individual level, become more and more important. And how does this relate to you know, the Occupy movement and all of that kind of stuff? Well, people right now, they're looking for macroeconomic or microeconomic solutions to a problem that can best be solved at a nano-economic level. So if we look at the solution as a people solution and not as a monetary or a taxation solution or a solution of supply and demand, then I believe that's the key to making a difference. That's the key to making an impact and moving us forward. And business at the speed of people, business has a key role in there. At the nano-economic level, business is about a relationship that is established to create a mutually beneficial exchange of resources based on a relationship of trust in order to create a win-win result. So business in the nano-economy, business at a people economy level is about, first, you have to have the relationship of trust that's in place. When I know the person, I'm more likely to buy from that person that I know and that I trust and that I respect and that I like, even if his price is a bit higher. I'm not just going to bargain the price down just to try and get some concessions from him. I want to make sure it's fair for you and it's fair for me, and then we trade on basis of a relationship, and we want to create a win-win result. So money and profit, in the old sense, it changes meaning, and that's what business at the speed of people is exploring, are the new rules for success in the nano economy, in the people economy, this third economy, which sits beside the micro and the macro. It's not taking over anything. It's not changing anything. It's just acknowledging the power of relationships as a binding factor in a people scale economy. My nano economy is at the scale of me. It's at the speed of me. So that's what we're talking about as business at the speed of people. One of the models that I look at, and I'm bringing this because I'm going to mention this later on too, if I can find there's my arrow. So in the nano economy, it's about, I have passions and desires and things I want to do and things I want to offer, and you have passions and desires and things you want to do and things you have to offer. And what we're doing is we're making an exchange of resources. Actually, I'm just realizing this is wrong. This is not my resources. These are our resources. So, like, I have knowledge and experience and goods and services and things to offer you. You have time and attention and money and things that you want to offer me. We make an exchange in such a way that we're here in the mutual profit, where it's a win-win benefit. You get the benefit of what I'm offering you, and I wanted to make an impact in your life that changes your life for the better. And in return, you're offering something to me that changes my life for the better. So it's a win-win. And that's what we're looking for. I'm not trying to take advantage of you. It is mutual advantage that we seek in the nano economy. And I want to come back to this. I think we come back to this specific one here. And I come back to it often, almost every session now. But this is the model of the nano economy. And there's 4 fundamental pillars to the nano economy. 4 qualities, 4 aspects to the nano economy that you need to have in order to prosper in the nano economy. So when you're offering something, you're offering it based on these 4 P's: passion, purpose, people, and profit. And actually, what you see here is kind of a mathematical equation that sort of explains, that's sort of the nano-economic equation. So it's like purpose, which is your foundation for action, which we're going to talk about in session number 4, times people. So it's the community that you build around your idea, around your message, and that's going to be in session number 5, to the power of passion, and that's what we're going to talk about today, and that's what creates profit. So the stronger your purpose, the larger your community that's around you, your tribe. You multiply those 2 things together, and times the power of passion, so passion becomes a multiplier. Well, you create more and more profit. And profit I define, I'm going to come back to this in session number 6. Profit is the value added that is important to you and to me. So it's not just about profit in terms of money. That's just the tangible. That's one aspect of profit. But profit is the value added that's important to you and that's important to me. So there's a lot of terms here that we're going to develop over the next, in this session and in the next 3 sessions after that. So today we're going to talk about the power of passion as a I believe in the nano economy that passion is the currency of the nano economy. It's not money, it's passion. And I want to talk to you about why this is important in this session here. Passion, let's define it, is the creative tension between the present moment and the future you want to create. Between the present moment and the future you want to create. So let's break this down a bit. A key aspect of the nano economy is this drive to change the status quo. I want to change things. And the bolder the game, the greater the game that I define, session number 2, in terms of changing the status quo, the more value I create. And I want to change the status quo I want to change the way things are, because the purpose of the nano-economy is to make sure that you experience more success while allowing me to experience more success. And success is creating an experience of life which expresses who you really are, which expresses your full potential. So to do that, in order to help you express your full potential, what I'm wanting to do with my offers to you is to create results that change your status quo. That's what the nano economy is all about. And same thing with me. By trading with me, you allow me to change my status quo and experience more of my full potential and who I really am. And passion then becomes a creative tension between the present moment and this change I want to create, this disruption I want to create. And imagine an elastic band between these two hands, and this hand is where I am now. And then I start defining a change I want to create. I start defining this future that I want to create. And I'm pushing it further and further out, and it's bolder and bolder. It's a bigger and bigger game. And just imagine the elastic between the two hands. It starts creating an energy. And the idea here is to create an energy that's strong enough that brings the present moment into the future. And then it goes again. Then I define the game in another way, another aspect of this big vision I have, and then poof. And that's how we move forward. So passion is this energy which gets us to move forward. And to me, that's the secret of life. It's about evolution. It's about moving forward. It's about solving our problems, overcoming the obstacles, creating a better life for you and for me, creating a better environment, a better community. Whatever your passion is to change, whatever the change to the status quo you want to create, it's the passion that's going to move you forward, how you define your great game and how you express it. So passion is an energy, and that's why I say it's the currency of the nano-economy. It's an energy. I hope you're starting to feel some of the energy I have around this idea. Well, that's exactly what's happening. I'm transmitting some of this energy to you, which gets you excited about what I have to say. If I'm doing it right, you're getting excited about it, and then you want to join me through what I offer and my products and my services and my invitations. And it can be small changes that you create that are in alignment with this energy that I'm transmitting, or it can be big changes. It all depends on your level of commitment, and we're going to see that later on in the section on profit. And so, how I'm transmitting my energy, it's all about how I'm expressing it, and it's through my positioning message. You know, how I say, what I say. You know, who do I say it to? I define positioning in a very specific way. I'm starting to think I need a glossary at the end of this book, because I believe that words have to be very clearly defined so that we're vibrating at the same level, that we understand each other, because words sometimes can be used to deflect and to confuse, and that's not what we want to do here. I define positioning as the positioning is what people think about when they think of you, and what words they use when they talk about you. What people think about when they think of you, and what words they use when they talk about you. So positioning is about faithfully communicating the message you want to get across, faithfully communicating this change in the status quo, this great game that we define in number 2. Faithfully communicating the great game in such a way that it invites the right people to come and play with you. Okay. Um, in business, in the traditional way that people sort of when they launch their business, they start. Often, this is what I hear. When I ask people, well, who are you looking for as a client? Well, anybody can be a client because everybody's looking for what I offer, and people will run to me right away as soon as I put the offer out there. Um, is that true? Is that true? And especially in the nano economy, is it true at the people level? And I want to talk a bit about that for at the moment because this can be a challenge. This sort of gives it away. But if we look at this as a curve, the good old normal curve, Gaussian curve of people with respect to their interest in what you have to offer. If you ask a lot of people, would you like to buy what I have to offer? Do you want to join with me in what I'm doing? What's going to happen is that the general population is indifferent to what you have to offer. Most people don't really care. Their attention is elsewhere. Their priorities are elsewhere. You will have some people even that are totally against what you are saying, what you're offering, what you're doing. They really don't want it, to the point that they might even get hostile. Even to me, it happens from time to time that some people, they find all kinds of reasons and they are totally against it. But on the other hand, there are some people who are more or less passionate. They're interested in what I have to offer, and the interest goes from, oh, yeah, somewhat interest to, yeah, I really, really want it. And that's the reality. Most people don't care. And in the microeconomic models, that's what we talk about, supply and demand. Well, in the nano-economic models, we don't care about the general population. So this becomes basically, who cares? This is almost a reason why the nano-economic model is so powerful, because I know that most people are indifferent to what I have to offer. So what do I focus on now? I focus on this concept called the long tail. And there's a couple of books. There's one, I got this from an article in Wired magazine by Chris Anderson. The long tail, and a number of people talk about it. The names don't come to me right now, but if you do a search, you'll find it. And so if we go back, if we look just at this part here, okay, in the number of people and the interest, well, if we look at this part, what we have is the long tail. I'm going to change this. This is number of people in the Y and interest. What happens is, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get these people that are really, really interested in what you have to offer. I'm going to have to change this completely. And that's your nano economy. And I say it's nano because this goes all the way to infinity, gets infinity small, as you're going on and on and on and on. But there's always somebody in it. So I'm not dealing with mass market anymore. I'm dealing with people who are really committed to what I have to offer, to the promise I have to offer. So I'm not in the nano. I'm not aiming for the average, because the average just doesn't care. I'm aiming for people who are really passionate about what I have to offer, about my message, about my great game, about my call to action. And I'm looking for those people, and I want those kind of people to inspire me to do my best also. If we go back to the definition of success, if I help you experience more of who you are, you're helping me experience more of who I am, of my full potential. And this is something one of the banners I have on my site, stop trying to please everyone. Instead, go for the 1% of people who really appreciate who you are, what you're ready, who are ready to commit to what you have to offer, and who inspire you to do your best. That's the key. So what I'm looking for is the right fit, right place, right time. Right fit between my values and and your values. I want to make sure that our values connect, that are and how our values correspond. Well, that's a measure of trust. The more our values connect, the more they correspond, the more we will trust each other. And business is creating a mutually beneficial exchange based on a relationship of trust. So I'm not looking for everybody. I'm looking for those people who connect with my values. Right fit. I'm looking also for people who are in the right place. They're open to what I have to offer. So what happens is in the sales process, what I'm doing is a lot of clearing out. I'm doing a lot of a lot of qualification. I want people who are qualified in terms of people who are open and people who are ready to hear me. They're genuinely curious about what I'm inviting them to get involved in. And right time. That's a priority for them right now. This is not right. I'm sorry. But the right time is it's a priority for them at this moment. This change that I'm talking about, this game I'm inviting them to play through using my products and services, through joining with me in this exchange. It meets something that's priority for them at the moment. Right fit, right place, right time. Right fit. I go back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and there's several different ways of doing it, but this is sort of like a 6th level, and there's 7 levels, and there are 8 levels. It all depends how people sort of segment it. But basically what it is if we look at our needs, they range from the physiological, which is making sure we have enough to eat and we have enough to drink. Those kinds of basic biological needs. And then it moves up to safety and security is something that once the physiological needs are met, I want to make sure that my safety and security needs are met. And then once those are met, then I'm more open to looking at love and belonging and the relationship, primary relationships and those things. And then after that, then I'm looking at receiving esteem from the group. So it's more about joining groups and being part of something that's bigger than me. And when that's satisfied, then I look more to self-esteem, and then finally, when all of these are all satisfied, then I focus on building something that's greater than myself, fulfillment, expressing who I really am, expressing my full potential. That's the way Maslow's hierarchy is usually explained. I like looking at this model too because I see it as a way of organizing values. And what I've noticed is when I talk to people or when I observe people, I can sort of see what are their core values, what's important to them right now, and I can sort of group their values according to where those values sit in the hierarchy of needs. Things like wanting relationships and stuff like that will go here, or are they focused more on fear and security and defense and those kinds of things? Well, they're operating at this level. So it gives me a kind of a model to use when determining where people are operating. And so when I start looking at, is it the right fit? Like in my case, a lot of my core values are around here, at this level. I'm not looking to connect with people who are just trying to make ends meet, who are just focused on safety and security. I want people who want to move, who want to exchange, create an exchange based on values in this upper half of the hierarchy, Maslow's hierarchy. If you are doing something else, maybe your focus is here. There's nothing that's bad or better or worse. It's just where are you? Where are your core values? Where do they sit in this classification? And it's about attracting other people who are at the same level also. I want to be able to communicate with them. I want to be able to build trust. If self-esteem is important to you and it's important to me, the values that we exchange are probably going to connect, and we're going to create a level of trust. I didn't explain that quite right, but there's something there. The second thing we were talking about, so that's right fit, right place. Are you open? That's what we want to talk about here. And I talk about needs and desires, but to me there are two different energies around that. When I hear somebody needs something, it's sort of like something is missing. They want to solve a problem in their past. You know, I need to lose weight. Well, I'm referring to a situation in the past. I need to pay off my debts. I need to do this. I need to. It's about solving something in the past. And desires is about, oh, I would like to. I want to. It's about going in the future. You know, I want to be stronger. You know, so it's about building towards the future. And it becomes really interesting in terms of looking at, is a person open? Is about looking at what's their frame of reference. Are they focusing towards the past, dealing with something, clearing something from their past, or is it building something to their future? Again, one's not worse than the other or better than the other. It's just understanding where the person is, and are they open to listening? Is it the right place for them? If I'm talking about the future, here's what you're going to be able to do and create, and they're worried about, or they're focusing on dealing something, on dealing with something that they are that's missing in their life right now, it's very difficult for us to communicate. They won't be open. Something around that. But the bottom line is that they must be clear about what their top priority is in the moment. So it's about having a clarity about where they are. I just want to go back and check something here. Yeah. And so that leads into the right time, which is the trigger event. Yeah, that's where I wanted to go. So right fit, right place, right time. And so the right time is, are they ready to take action now? So it's about finding the trigger event in their situation that will cause them to take action right now and respond to the invitation that you're giving to them. I have something on trigger event that I'm going to put in there. I'm just making a mental note to myself. The bottom line, okay, I put this here, this radio, basically goes back to this idea that passion is an energy. And what I'm doing is I'm sending out vibes through my messages, through my positioning. And those vibes are going out and looking for people who are ready, for whom it's the right fit, right place, right time, for them to enter into a relationship with me. And I almost sound like a dating site or something, but that's basically what it is. And so this message that I'm putting together, basically it has to be the answer to the question my client is asking, the question that the person I'm aiming for is asking. I'm calling this client. I'm going to have to work on those terminologies here. But you want to be the answer to the question people are asking themselves. And when you do that, then they'll pick up on your passion, and then things will click pretty quickly. You want to speak to the person. You want to address their qualities and not just their circumstances. I'll go more into detail now. Often, when you build your business plan according to microeconomic models, supply and demand, you're asked to define your target market. Well, as we've talked about, in the nano-economy, there's no such thing as a market. We don't talk about markets. We talk about people. In the microeconomic model, we define our target market by their circumstances, their demographic, how old they are, their gender, are they married, are they single, are they parents, all those kinds of things. Or geographic, where do they live? Ethnographic, what ethnicity are they from? Financial, how much do they make? Those are all circumstances. In the microeconomic model, we're trying to figure out what makes people look like other people so that we can address a mass marketing comes from that. Well, in the nano economy, we don't do mass marketing. We focus on creating conversations with people, individuals. So I want to find out what makes them stand out. I want to understand your passions, your values, your priorities, your needs. I want to understand your personal experience. I want to understand what makes you unique so I can call out to you, specifically you. Again, we're looking at that long tail. There's somebody out there that is looking to connect with me because we can help each other create more of an experience of who we really are. It is like dating. You're going out and you're looking for those people that allow you to do your best work when you connect with them. People don't care about what you do. They only care about what you can do for them. And so in the nano economy, we're talking a lot about how you communicate the benefits of what you do. It's not just about what you do. It's not just about your product and your service. That's a microeconomic model. My products and my services are tools that you can use to create an experience. So it's not about my deliverables. It's about the results, so the tangible effects of my deliverables, and the benefits, how they feel about these results. So it's about results and benefits. It's about experiences. The nano economy is about the experience economy. People want experiences. And that's what gets their passion going. People are motivated by experience. In the nano economy, it is about love. It is about trust. It is about relationships. It is about helping each other. It is about feeling good. It is about feeling empowered. It is about learning. It's all those intangibles. That's the most important elements of the nano economy. Monetary savings, or how much money they're going to make, how much money they're going to save, how little they're going to spend. Those are microeconomic arguments that are important. I'm not saying that the nano economy replaces everything else. It's just side by side, and it's just recognizing in the moment when you're dealing with a nano-economic issue rather than a microeconomic issue. If you find that the person in front of you values experiences more than anything, talk to them in nano-economic terms, person-to-person terms. Talk to them in terms of benefits and in terms of results. That's what's going to get them to say, yeah, I trust you and I will trade with you. People crave positive experiences. And remembering that success is creating an experience of life which expresses your full potential. It is about the experience of life. That's what you want to focus on. Where am I going with this? This means that for every combination of talents, passions, and offers, so products and services, there's somebody who's looking for you and who is ready to exchange with you. And the goal of a nano-economic model of business at the speed of people, is to craft messages, is to communicate, is to express your great game in such a way that it vibrates with passion, that the passion goes out and reaches the person who's ready to trade with you, who's ready to enter into an exchange of resources based on a relationship of trust with the objective of creating a win-win experience. So what's the tool for all of this? So I've sort of explained the background. What's the tool? It's your positioning message. And your positioning message describes, it communicates who you are. It communicates something about your vision, your mission, your passions, your values. It expresses the experience, the impact you want to create, the change, the experience, and why this is important. So in other words, like in the previous session when we talked about your manifesto, the great game you want to play, so this is boiling down your manifesto into one short sentence. For example, I'm going to come back to that. Whoop. Oh yeah. So if you look at, this is my current business card. And at the bottom is one of my positioning statements. I have a number of positioning statements depending on what I'm trying to communicate. This is one I've had. I have a couple of stronger ones too, but this is a good start. So I guide solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, self-employed professionals, and all those who aim for the stars with their feet on the ground to power their vision from passion to profit. So what I've attempted to do here is to call out to people who are open. So it's the right place. They're open. I'm looking for people who share some of my values, the right fit. So I'm looking for aspirational people, people who want to build something that's greater than themselves, and like people who are more at the top part of Maslow's. So that's this, aim for the stars with their feet on the ground. And I want to create also this impact. What's in it for them, to power their vision from passion to profit. So I talk about the impact that they're going to create, the result. I don't say that I'm a coach. I do coaching services for self-employed entrepreneurs. That's not a positioning statement, because it has to describe who am I, what's the impact I want to create, and why is this important. Basically, what I'm trying to do is seek the right person. People who share my passion and values, priorities, that there's something that we share in terms of our experience and who we are. I want to communicate what are the advantages for them, what are the results and the impacts that they're going to experience, and hopefully try and determine, and trigger, find that button that will get them to respond in a way that it's a win-win. In summary, in the nano-economy, there is no market. We're not talking about markets. We're not talking about groups of people. In the nano-economy, it's about one-to-one relationships with people. I can do that thousands of times, but each person feels like I'm having a one-on-one conversation with them. And with the technologies we have today, we can do that. People can feel that it's a one-on-one relationship. It's a relationship with a person, not a CRM, not a customer relationship manager. It's with a person, and that it's a person that I know that there's a good fit, and it's the right place, and it's the right time to initiate this exchange. Basically, I'm looking to connect with people who are ready to exchange with me, who are ready to connect with me, and also those people will inspire me to do my best work, because I want them to succeed, and when I'm doing my best work, I'm succeeding, creating an experience of life which expresses who I really am, which expresses my full potential. There are people you are called to serve and who are waiting for you to call them. So this concept of passion is the currency of the nano-economy. Passion is what we're exchanging. And so it is a necessary part. And I'm not quite sure where to put this, but one of the things that I say to my clients is there are two fundamental resources you need when you are launching and operating a business in the nano-economy. One is passion, and the other one is time. And it's bringing those two things together that create the money, the results, the impact, the change you want to create. Those, passion and time are the two fundamental elements. You don't need money to make money. That is false. But you do need passion and you do need time. And it's the combination of those two, how you deploy your passion, how you invest your passion, how you invest your time. That's what creates the change you want to see in the world. That allows you to win at your great game. I made it. I made it. Yay! That is the recording of section 3. Okay, I don't want to go there. Here, this is what I say again. Passion is the fundamental currency of the nano-economy. And I'm going to put a section there on building your positioning statement. I didn't flesh it out right, but I have lots of stuff. This stuff I've done over and over and over again. This is a core part of my coaching curriculum. So I'll be able to put some stuff in there to beef it up. So basically, that's it for section number 3. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts that come after listening to this, feel free to contact me by phone, by email, on Facebook, or in the YouTube comments. Your input will really help me make this book the best it can be. And I want it to make a difference. I wanted to reach out to people who feel lost right now in this disruptive time, where the models are all changing and the rules are all changing and people don't quite know what to do. I want to invite some people to adopt this concept of the nano-economy and take their passion, take their energy, and instead of waiting for somebody else to save them, I'm hoping that this model, this way of looking at how we trade, how we exchange, how we help each other, I'm hoping that this model will inspire them to action and make the world a better place through this nano-economic model. You can do good. Actually, I would say the only way to create wealth is by doing good. If you are focusing just on creating wealth without worrying about whether you're doing good or not, that wealth is not going to stay. It's going to disappear. So it is only through doing good that you can create wealth. And that's the focus of the nano-economy. And we're going to come to that later also in the section on profit and what that's all about. So that's it. Passion in the nano-economy. And session number 4 is going to be about purpose, which is the personal foundation that gives you the clarity, the commitment, confidence, and courage to initiate the change you want to create in the world. Thank you very much. Have a great night. Remember, you can always contact me. Take care.